Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
There is a tradition, there's a story, a midrash, that says that even though we knew the day that we were supposed to be ready for something awesome happening, we slept in. That's the story. We slept late. We overslept. There is a tradition on Shavuot, and I'm going to remind you, here's our little secret. It is not yet Shavuot, but we're celebrating it as if it is. Shavuot actually doesn't happen until the 49th day, and today we're going to celebrate, who knows? How many days today? How many days? 42. How many weeks is that?
6.
There's an app for this, everybody. We have to keep saying that. So if I take 42 and I divide it by 7, what do I get? 6. All right, as soon as we light those candles, then it gets to be Shabbat and you can turn your brains off. But right now, seriously? All right, so we're 6 weeks into this. So now we know what we're waiting for. We know what day we count up. We don't count down. In those days, God said, in 3 days, something awesome is going to happen. I want you to prepare by doing these things. Be ready. In 3 days, something awesome is going to happen. Watch the mountain. Don't go near the mountain. Don't touch the mountain. And for 3 days, we were getting ready. And supposedly, in one version, we were sleeping when it was time. When God's presence came down on the mountain and there was fire and we were asleep. So there is a tradition at Shavuot that we stay awake all night studying every little chunk of Torah, but not the whole thing, but little chunks from every part of Torah. I want you to think about the story, because nobody here is sleeping, and I'm very glad everybody's here. And the Shavuot service, in many ways, commemorates what is potentially the most awesome moment in all of human history. Possibly the most awesome moment that has ever happened and will ever happen. When somewhere between 6,000 and 3 million people, depending on how well we do math, and obviously we're not very good at math, I've already found that out. So, but depending on, you're good at math. Depending on how we do math, it could be somewhere around there. But it was lots of people witnessed this together. And so, we're standing there. We receive the law. That's what we commemorate. The students here from the confirmation class are commemorating that moment. They understand the heaviness, the weight, the importance of this moment, of them standing here in front of you, just like we did way back then. So having said that, a few things we have to do. There are 2 books. This is the book with the service in it. And if you need to, you open it up and you see the names of the students in the confirmation class, and we'll be singing the opening song in a moment, says it's on page 2. My favorite part of the book is that we have a page 0. I can't get rid of the 0 on the page 0, but that's beside the point. You have no idea how much time I've spent trying to turn it into a not 0, but it doesn't work. It has to do with counting again, you know. So a few things we need to do. You already told me what day we are of the Omer. We'll do that later. Tell me again. 42, which are how many weeks? 6 weeks. We're good at that. We're also about to start a new month. Anybody know what month we're about to start? Oh, nice. Rosh Chodesh Sivan is on Tuesday. That's something you're going to need to know later. I know school's almost over, but it's kind of like a, I don't know. It's a mini test. No, it's not. There are no tests anymore. I think that those are the things you need to know. So we begin our service with the confirmands coming in and joining us. We'll wait for the song that they chose as their opening song is a song about peace that's in Hebrew and in Arabic. O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. And I forgot to remind you, this is Spencer Reichman is in the house, y'all. This is the last time he'll be singing with us for the summer because he goes away. We'll talk about that later. At this time, the confirmation class would like to honor Helene Bronig and Jody Hutto to come help us with blessing the candles and the Kiddush, pages 3 and 4. Please rise. And Charlie. You don't have any books?
On this day, we would see the world in a new light.
On this day, we would add a new spirit to our lives.
On this day, we would taste a new time of peace.
We would rest from desire for gain
and ambition for things.
We would raise our eyes to look beyond time and space toward eternity.
Oh, may we come to see the world in a new light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, hadlik ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov. Praised are you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat and this festival.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen.
Praised art you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praised art you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who has chosen us from among the peoples, exalting us by hallowing us with mitzvot. In your love, Adonai our God, you have given us Shabbat of rest, feasts of gladness, and seasons of joy. This Shabbat day and this festival of Shavuot, season of our receiving Torah, a sacred occasion, a remembrance of the exodus from Egypt. For you have chosen us from all the peoples and consecrated us to your service, and given us Shabbat, a sign of love and favor, and the festivals, a time of gladness and joy. Praised art you, Adonai our God, who sanctifies Shabbat, Israel, and the festivals.
Amen. L'chaim.
It's just juice.
Oh God, we have come to your...
They get to sit down first. You get to say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with, someone you didn't come in with, someone you didn't come in with. Shabbos. So we had no idea. Give her hugs. Give them hugs. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into thousands of years ago, whether we overslept or not. This class has had 2 really possibly ineffective rehearsals, and the people who we've honored aren't even sure. They may not even know exactly what we asked them to do yet. Some of you in the congregation don't know. They're younger. Anyone who is under their age don't know what they're being called to do yet. But they love you, so they'll do a fine job. Go ahead.
O God,
We have come to your sanctuary to seek your vision. Speak to us, we pray, with the still small voice of your Spirit. Speak to us of faith and hope.
If our lives have become shallow, deepen them. If our principles have become shabby, repair them. If our ideals have become tarnished, restore them. If our hopes have become faded, revive them. If our loyalties have grown dim, brighten them.
If our values have become confused, clarify them. If our purposes have grown blurred, sharpen them. If our horizons have become narrow, widen them. Make us worthy instruments of your will, and help us to live the words we pray.
You get to go back to your seats and leave my book right there. Thank you. And I invite the parents and grandparents of the confirmands to please stand, and the confirmands please stand. We're at the top of page 5, and would the parents and the grandparents please join me? God says, "Turn to me and live."
And we, the people, answer, "All that you have spoken will we do."
God says, "I make this covenant with you, but also with those who will come after you."
And we, the people, answer, "We will do and we will listen."
God says, "Love one another as yourselves."
And we, the people, answer, "We are here, we are ready."
We say together in English, "Blessed are you, O eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who has granted us life, sustained us, and given us this joyous occasion." Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה, ועלמא דברה חירותה, וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ומרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ומרו, אמן.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
As day departs, as the night of the dark of night descends, we lift our eyes to the heavens. In awe and wonder, our hearts cry out.
Eternal God, how majestic is your name in all the earth.
An infinite universe, who can know it? What mind can fathom it? We look out to the endless suns and ask, what are we? What are our dreams and hopes? What are we that you are mindful of us? What are we that you should care for us?
And yet, within us abides a measure of your spirit. You are remote, but oh, how near, ordering the stars in the vast solitudes of the dark, yet whispering in our minds that you are closer than the air we breathe. For you have made us little less than divine, and crowned us with glory and honor. With love and awe we turn to you, and in the dark of the evening we seek the light of your presence.
One and only God, you have made each of us unique and formed us to be united in one family of life. Be with us, Eternal One, as we seek to unite our lives with your power and your love.
We proclaim now your oneness and our own hope for unity. We acclaim your creative power in the universe and in ourselves, the law that binds world to world and heart to heart.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
may be seated unless you're in my Bet Hebrew class, and then I need you. Who could have seen this one coming? Yeah, nobody was seeing that coming. Come on up, come up. Got it? Come on around. Make your voices hit that microphone all the way over there. Come on around. Ready? Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is our Bet Hebrew class. This is awesome. Wait, squish around. We need more room over here. Come on, come around. Come on. Come around, come around. This is awesome. Come around. Come on around. Come on around. Come around. Come around. Come around. Come on around. Ready? All right. Go ahead. Go. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Nice job, everybody, very proud. Go ahead. Great job. Very proud.
The path to the love of God is through the love of others. I do not love God until I love my neighbor as myself.
Hang on. Let's do the line before it. That was our job. We have to do the first line. Ready, everybody? We missed our cue. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Go ahead, Garrett. Do that again.
The path to the love of God is through the love of others. I do not love God until I love my neighbor as myself.
Set these words, which I command you this day, upon your heart.
Jewish faith unites mind and heart. Even as my mind seeks to understand life's meaning, so may my life show love for all created things.
Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up.
We do not teach our children by words alone. May I take my life and action into good teachings, for in my conduct I must exemplify the Torah.
Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Let my home glow with the beauty of our heritage. Let my doors be opened wide to wisdom and to righteousness.
Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. Each mitzvah
is a way to holiness. The mitzvot elevate our humanity. Let me learn to use them to magnify the divine in myself and in the world.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך חוקי הים לפני משה זה ליאנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Shinar, and it has been said, the Eternal One delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Eternal God, help us to walk
With good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Blessed the guardian of Israel, whose love gives light to all the world. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asod et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וידבר משה את מועדי אדוני אל בני ישראל. Then Moses taught the people of Israel to celebrate God's festivals. Please rise for the tefillah, which begins in the middle of page 10.
Adonai,
Sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, El Hagadol, Hagibur v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei bneihem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah.
Let us praise Adonai, source of knowledge and light, for whom we draw wisdom and insight.
Let us savor the fullness of each and every day and fill our souls with the treasures of Shabbat. And let us appreciate these distinctions, sacred from profane, charity from greed, purpose from drift.
Let us affirm our covenant as God's people. Let us honor those who study Torah. Let us uphold the truth of the ongoing revelation.
Let us celebrate the glory of our tradition and draw refreshment from the well springs of our prayer. Let us respect tradition and encourage creative faith.
And let us dress ourselves in the garments of God, compassion for the needy, embrace of the stranger, and then spread the canopy of peace over all the world.
Strive to be holy, your name every day. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Praise be you, eternal God, the God of holiness.
You have chosen us.
Everyone may be seated. You stay. No, you go. Go away.
You have chosen us in love and favor by making us holy through your mitzvot and drawing us close to your service, that through us your great and holy name may become known in all the earth.
In your love, O eternal our God, you have given us Shabbatot of rest, feasts of gladness, and seasons of joy. This Shabbat day and this festival of Shavuot, season of our receiving Torah, to unite in worship and recall the exodus from Egypt. Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo letovah, this day, remember us for well-being.
Amen.
Ufokdenu vo levracha, this day, bless us with your nearness.
Amen.
V'hoshienu vo lechaim, this day, help us to a fuller life.
Amen.
Bestow upon us the blessing of your holy festivals. Our God and God of ages past, sanctify us with your mitzvot, and let your Torah be our way of life. May our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. Let us celebrate your holy festivals with joy and gladness, that all Israel, hallowing your name, may have cause to rejoice. Blessed is the Eternal, who hallows the house of Israel, Shabbat, and the festivals.
Look with favor, O eternal our God, to your people Israel, and may our service be acceptable to you. You are close to all who call upon you. Turn now to your servants and be gracious to us. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst and in the midst of our people in Zion. Blessed is the Eternal, whose presence gives life to Zion and all Israel.
Eternal source of good, we give thanks for the numberless gifts and blessings that fill our days, for life itself and its endless variety, for all that sustains body and mind,
For love and friendship, for the delights of senses,
and for the excellence of your Torah, which deepens our life and enriches our days. Teach us, God of wonders, to work for a just and compassionate society, where all may share your gifts in the joy of freedom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. You're supposed to hit higher. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. We got it. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. We now take a moment to say the prayers that are in our hearts, or if you want, you can take the silent meditation that the confirmation class has chosen to try to inspire you. We pray silently. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו Amen. So at this point in the service, before we start our Torah service, we have to do something that we did not rehearse, because you don't have to worry about it. I got this. But it's the things we talked about a few moments ago. Most of the time when we do our confirmation class, it's actually at Shavuot, so we don't always have to do this. But since we are still counting, we need to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. We need to acknowledge that it's Rosh Chodesh, and we need to say one other blessing, and I need my book for that. So first, for the Omer, this is the quiz part. How many days are we?
42.
And how many weeks is that?
6.
So we say the blessing, which is the one that we say for fulfilling the commandment al Sfirat HaOmer, about counting the Omer. We say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al Sfirat HaOmer, hayom 42 yamim, shehem shisha Shavuot la'Omer. Today is the 42nd day, which makes 6 weeks of the Omer. And then we say on page 162, what month did we say we were going to start? Sivan. And what day are we starting it? Tuesday. So we are going to say, Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Eloheinu ve'imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors. May the new month bring us renewed good and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, and health, a life full of blessing, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good. Rosh Chodesh Sivan yeh b'yom shlishi. The new month of Sivan will begin on Tuesday. God of holiness, let the new month bring for us and for the whole house of Israel and all the world life and peace, happiness and joy, deliverance and comfort. And let us say, Amen. And it has become our tradition to add, Misheberach avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we have entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve. May they return home safely. And let us say, Amen. So now in our service, we are about to hear those words that, here's the other embarrassing story. I don't think we slept late, and I can tell you why not. If you come to Torah study tomorrow, I'll explain why we didn't sleep late. But actually, over the next few weeks, we'll probably be talking about this. We didn't sleep late, but we listened to these words that when God said them, it was so powerful that we could see the words. And it was so powerful that we said, Dayenu, we can't handle this. We said to Moses, listen, that was too much for us. We can't do this. You can listen to God and tell us what God said. And we listen. And that's where our tradition comes from, always Shema Yisrael, to listen. So we begin our Torah service on page 14. Assembled at a mountain, our people, still bent from oppression, found you found your Torah, found your truth, and embraced the destiny that has shaped worlds. Help us still to shape the world according to your will. Help us to teach and to learn, to hear your word anew, and to find in our path to goodness and truth. Please rise when the ark is open. El harachamim hetiva virtzonecha et Zion. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Ki v'cha levad batachnu melech elam v'nisa adon olamim. Turn around, let everybody see the Torah. Parting of the sea. Whoosh. We didn't have anybody in the room last time we practiced. Stay right there. Havugodol Eloheinu, tenu chavod la Torah. Let us declare the greatness of our God and give honor to the Torah. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah. Udevar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amu Yisrael bekedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadlul Adonai iti, uneromim Hashemo yachtav, O magnify the Eternal One with me, and together let us exalt God's name. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. The words, the big words that you could see that we've been listening to ever since. You guys ready? Hold on. Let's find that first word. We got to go back a page. Hold on one sec. Smooch. First word, everybody touch and kiss. Take your talit. Touch and kiss, touch and kiss. Close up. Hold your Torah. Hold your Torah. You need this.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu b'chol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. I got it. Hold on, guys. Come on over here. Ready? Come hold it. Come hold it. Any people on this side? People on this side, people on this side. These words. You ready? Let's see if I'm ready. וידבר אלוהים את כל הדברים האלה לאמור, אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך, אשר הוצאתיך מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים.
God spoke all these words, saying, I am your Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
לא יהיה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי, לא תעשה לך פסל וכל תמונה, אשר בשמיים ממעל, ואשר בארץ מתחת, ואשר במים מתחת לארץ. לא תשתחווה להם ולא תעבדם, כי אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך אל קנה, פוקד עוון אבות, על בנים, על שלישים ועל רבעים לשונאי, ועושה חסד לאלפים לאוהבי ולשומרי מצוותי.
You shall have no other gods beside me. You shall not make for yourself an image of anything in the heavens above, or on the earth below, or in the waters under the earth. You shall not worship them or serve them, for I, the eternal your God, am a demanding God, visiting the guilt of the parents upon the children, upon the third and fourth generations of those who reject me, but showing kindness to thousands of generations of those who love me and keep my commandments.
לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא, כי לא ינקה אדוני את אשר יישא את שמו לשווא.
You shall not swear falsely by the name Adonai, your God, for Adonai will not clear one who swears falsely by the name Adonai.
זכור את יום השבת לקודשו, 6 ימים תעבוד ועשית כל מלאכתך, ויום השביעי שבת לאדוני אלוהיך. לא תעשה לך מלאכה, כל מלאכה, אתה ובנך וביתך, עבדך ואמתך, ובהמתך וגרך אשר בשעריך. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, את הים ואת כל אשר בם, וינח ביום השביעי, על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו.
Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of your eternal God. You shall not do any work, you, your son or daughter, your servants, your domestic animals, or the stranger in your community. For in 6 days God made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them. And then God rested on the 7th day. Therefore God blessed the Sabbath day and called it holy.
כבד את אביך ואת אמך, למען יאריכון ימיך על האדמה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך.
Honor your father and mother, that you may long endure in the land that your God gives you.
לא תרצח.
You shall not murder.
לא תנאף.
You should not commit adultery.
לא תגנוב.
You should not steal.
לא תענה ברעך עד שקר.
You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor.
לא תחמוד בית רעך. לא תחמוד אשת רעך, ועבדו ואמתו ושורו וחמורו וכל אשר לרעך.
You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's spouse, servants, cattle, nor anything that belongs to your neighbor.
Last word. Seat out. Kiss. Touch, kiss, touch, kiss. You got it. Touch, kiss. No. Bless it first. Ready? Hold on to your Torah. I'll get out of your way. Baruch. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam nata b'torchenu, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Now, before we do the scary thing, I need to bless you because you read from the Torah and you blessed the Torah. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless our confirmands, since they have come up to the Torah in honor of God and Torah. May they merit from the Holy One of blessing protection, rescue from any trouble or distress, from any illness, minor or serious. May God send blessing and success in their every endeavor, together with all Israel, and let us say, Amen. And there's a tradition that while the Torah is out, that is when we say the blessing for healing. I'm going to cover this first. If anyone has anyone for whom they would like us to be saying a prayer of healing, please call out that name. You're going to help me. Ready? Start again. Go. I thought you were pointing forward me. Anybody here? Point to each other. Join with me. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Okay, now comes the scary part. Ready, Garrett? When the Torah is lifted, don't lift the ark, just the Torah. When the Torah is lifted, please rise. You do it more. Yeah. Looks good. Slide it down. Vizot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. You may be seated. Now give us a moment to close this up. When we do a bar bat mitzvah service, usually we have the student reading while other people are being honored. But this time, they get to be honored, and then they also have to start reading in a minute. So bear with us for a moment. The Torah reading for Shavuot it's traditionally the book of Ruth. And in the book of Ruth, you hear a lot of things. We only read an excerpt from it during our service. But in some ways, this is kind of the very first official, good idea. The very first official conversion ceremony. Other conversions after that use this as a model. And the words that are said are used not only for conversions, sometimes for weddings. It's a beautiful sentiment to you'll see what they're saying, but it's really beautiful. And in some ways what it reflects is the confirmands acknowledging how, whoops, I forgot my job. You were doing so well there for a minute. I got it. No fasting. All right, do the Haftorah. I got the Torah. I got it. I'll stop talking. You do your thing. Nice job. You did a good job. No starving. I'll take this. You all do your things. Ready, go. Yeah. Ready? Everybody's breathing again. Sorry about that. Sheesh. All right, you're on the top of page 19. Go.
Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, asher bahar nevi'im tovim, v'ratzah b'divrehem, hanemarim be'emet, baruch atah Adonai, haroher b'torah, u'moshe avdo, u'Yisrael amo, u'nevi'ei ha'emet b'tzedek. In the days when judges ruled, there was famine in the land. And a man of Bethlehem in Judah, with his wife and 2 sons, went to reside in the country of Moab. The man's name was Elimelech, and his wife's name Naomi. And his 2 sons were named Machlon and Kilion, Ephrodites of Bethlehem and Judah. They came to the country of Moab and remained there.
Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left with their 2 sons. They married Moabite women, one named Orpah and the other Ruth, and they lived there about 10 years. Then those 2, Machlon and Kilion, also died. So the woman was left without her 2 sons and without her husband.
She started out with her daughters-in-law to return from the country of Moab, for in the country of Moab she had heard that God had taken note of the people of Israel, and she had given them food. They accompanied by her 2 daughters-in-law, and she left the place where she had been living, and they set out on the road back to the land of Judah. But Naomi replied, "Turn back, my daughters. Why should you go with me? I have any more sons in my body." Is that yours?
Yeah, this is mine. More sons in my body who might be husbands for you. Turn back, my daughters, for I am too old to be married. Even if I thought there was hope for me, even if I were married tonight and I also bore sons, should you wait for them to grow up? Should you on their account debar yourselves from marriage? Oh no, my daughters. My lot is far more bitter than yours, for the hand of God has struck out against me.
They broke into weeping again, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law farewell. But Ruth clung on to her, so she said, "See, your sister-in-law has returned to her people and her gods. Go follow your sister-in-law." But Ruth replied, Do not urge me to leave you, to turn back and not follow you. Wherever I go, I will go. Wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. Thus, and Lord, may God do for me if anything but death parts me from you. When Naomi saw how determined she was to go with her, she ceased to argue with her, and the 2 went until they reached Bethlehem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Tzor kol ha'olamim, tzadik b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman,
ve'oseh
ha'medaber u'mekayem,
shekol dvarav.
emet b'tzedek.
Praised are you.
You, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, rock of all creation, righteous one of all generations, the faithful God, whose word is deed, whose every command is just and true. For the Torah, for the privilege of worship, and for the prophets, for Shabbat, and for this day of Shavuot, that you, Adonai our God, have given us for holiness and rest, for gladness and joy, for glory and beauty. For all these things, Adonai our God, we thank and bless you. May your name be blessed by every living being. Praised are you, Adonai our God, for sanctifying Shabbat, Israel, and the festivals.
I just want to point out that this group loves each other so much that they stole each other's paragraphs. That's what happened here. And we skipped one, and we stole each other ones, and that was pretty crazy. I've never seen anything like that before. All right. But they really like each other, and that's why they keep sharing. When the ark is open, please rise. V'shamayim
When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it.
The whole Torah exists only to establish peace.
Its highest teaching is love and kindness.
What is hateful to you, do not do to any person.
That is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. Go and learn it.
Those who study Torah are the true guardians of civilization.
Honoring one another, doing acts of kindness, and making peace. These are our highest duties.
But the study of Torah is equal to them all, because it leads to them all.
Let us learn in order to teach.
Let us learn in order to do.
Hashivenu Adonai, Elecha v'nashuva. Kodesh Yameinu, Yameinu kekedem.
When the ark is closed, you may be seated. You may be seated. Now, our students have things that they would like to tell you, and I need to let you know they have promised that they would read it slowly enough that everyone will understand and appreciate it, because we haven't even shared this with each other yet. So, Garrett.
Growing up Jewish in the South is difficult, to put it plainly. I'm sure most of you have felt at least a fraction of the struggle. It's hard knowing that out of the 2,000 other kids at your school, you're the only Jewish one there. Sometimes being unique can feel odd or strange, but I like to think of it as a blessing. I have many friends outside of this congregation, but I feel most at home right here with these people. And that to me is a blessing. These 4 people sitting to the left of me, they have grown up with me my entire childhood. I can remember in religious school, Grant and me getting in endless fist fights over tag on the playground outside, and poor Miss Chris having to be the mediator and break us up every time. Even outside of religious school, we spent a lot of time together. I remember all the eventful, to put it lightly, Boy Scout campouts, good and bad, and the countless road trips for soccer tournaments with Grant. I can remember all the late nights and early mornings riding in the car with Caroline and Taylor and I having to sit in the car and try to cope with Caroline's choice of music. Last but certainly not least, I can remember Mackenzie and Grayson attending Sunday school for the very first time. I was hesitant at first, but quickly learned to love and welcome you both with open arms to our little class. I love each one in this class so dearly, and I don't know what I'd do without them. I hope we stay this close as adults, just like we have as kids. I wish there was a phrase that meant more than a simple thank you, and if there was, it would be saved just for you, Rabbi. Thank you for teaching me everything I've ever wanted to know about Judaism. I enjoy our little talks, whether it be about the next new iPhone or the latest funny memes, or questions about Judaism that I feel uncomfortable asking anybody else. I'm extremely blessed that I've had the opportunity to have you in my life, and I will always cherish these times we share together. I'd like to thank my parents tremendously for guiding and teaching me to be the person I am today, and also for having to put up with me even when I'm stubborn, hard to deal with, and not the most enjoyable person to be around. And most importantly, thank you to everyone who came out tonight to support us. It means the world. Thank you. That's it. So, yeah.
Thank you. Breathe, that's good.
I forgot to add a part to this. Sorry. So I'm going to low-key wing it.
Uh-oh. That's not in the script, that's for sure.
Good evening, fellow congregants of B'nai Zion. Confirmation class and the people in it have had a very big impact on me and my way of thinking of God. Ever since my bar mitzvah, I felt like I've been slowly parting away from God and God's commandments. However, this past year, I have been taught how to reconnect with God with the help of Rabbi and my friends. I was taught to think, build on ideas, and most importantly, question. Every day in class, we would go on and on about various subjects that often had no connection to Judaism. However, now I understand that God can be applied to every situation, every problem, and every solution. The questioning about society and culture and the universe in itself has made me embrace God even more than I ever had been able to. Confirmation has allowed me to create bonds with my fellow peers that will last forever. I am so glad to have spent every Sunday with some of the people that I've been with my entire life. Garrett, Taylor, Mackenzie, Grayson. Some of my 4 greatest friends. This is the part where I remember the times where me and Garrett would just sit in a backyard and just throw mud at each other, like monkeys. Some of my best memories in math class with Taylor. She's just telling me all the answers. I love it because I would not have an A in the class, or a B right now. If it were for her, I personally thank you, Mackenzie and Grayson, some of my closest friends. I remember just going out to lunch and seeing Mackenzie and Grayson's face, and just lights up my day, just like that. Just, their face, just makes you want to jump and jack. It's awesome. And Rabbi. Whenever I feel down or sorry or anything, I just remember Rabbi and how happy she is all the time, and how she's able to deal with me all the time. It just gives me renewed life, and I honestly cannot thank you more for that, because you are truly one of the most inspirational people in my life. I want to express my utmost gratitude to those who have helped me on the way to becoming a true Jew.
Thank you. Okay, I kind of forgive you for going off the subject for that, because of the nice things you said.
All right, before I begin, I'm just going to say that part of this, the very last part, I haven't wrote the last part myself because I kind of want to say it without having any too much boundaries. So here's what I'm thinking on current situations. Sorry. During my time with Rabbi in confirmation class, we learned a lot about what I wanted to call my inner Judaism. After my Benot Mitzvah service, the only thing I thought and cared about me being Jewish was the lovely melodies from camp that always made the first enjoyable. And heck, they were. I'd never get rid of those memories in my mind. And those melodies, God. Now that my confirmation year's over, I'm seeing the event of receiving the Torah in a new light. I remember this was a big event for the Jewish people, and it still is. Basically, we're getting the definitive rules of life. Things that most people see as major rules you shouldn't break. Most of us follow these rules that you shouldn't break, although the Jewish people receive them and see them as commandments. Most people in our world just keep doing the rules. It seems like all we hear of the news is all the bad things that are going on. And we talked a lot about that in our confirmation class. I appreciate that we also talked about what I would call the simple things, like observing the Sabbath, respecting our parents, etc. I think that when people keep these big laws and simple laws given to us by the Torah, it really does help. If it weren't for us receiving the Torah, maybe the world would be much different. I think these laws are helpful, and that I'm glad to be a part of the Jewish people. I'm glad to learn about the laws. This one is not on script, so I'll go ahead and say it. My classmates, my groupies, God, I remember so much. I remember that every one of you guys just always were yourselves. That's the one thing I enjoyed most. I don't want to go spat on my sister. She'll be the last one I want to talk about. Yeah, right. I know that you go to a different school than all 4 of us, but I know you are still a great soccer player. Good job. Keep up the good work. Be yourself. Good luck with everything. Keep it going. Your soccer so amazingly. Good job on making varsity these last 2 years of being its magnet. Good job with your grades and stuff like that. Great job. Taylor. This is all the horrible times at gym where we both be like, why do we have to be here? Can we just go home and get to class? We would always talk every day at the lockers once I joined the class, and it was very fun. You're definitely one of my favorite people to talk to in gym class, so you're totally awesome. Now to my favorite part, my twin sister. All of you can bear every single conversation I have about video games, especially Pokemon, but my sister can do it much better than all of you because she has to deal with that every single day of her life. You work so hard that it makes me even jealous. I can't keep up the work better than you do at school. I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad you made it into Magnet. I know your years were tough, and I wanted to go there and punch every person's face.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure my sister was happy.
You okay?
But you're the best person ever, Matt. So just realize that whenever you're going low and not having your good days, talk to me. I'll be here. Mom, if you were the one who would have to try, you're the one who drives me everywhere. So first off, I have to thank you for that and all the things you do for me and letting me be me and my sister both be part of the temple and all. I thank you so much. Being here just changed my life completely. And I have to say this for the last 6 years and this year, thank you for sending me to camp. Those are probably some of the happiest moments of my life. Rabbi, you're the only other person I can totally talk to about Pokemon and have a totally good response to it. Pika! Pika, Pika. Like always. It's always nice for us to talk, and once I start driving, and once me and Mackenzie figure out our car schedule, we're going to have some good times on the Nintendo Switch. Definitely going to show you the Pokemon collection one day. As for everyone here, thank you all for coming. Good luck to my sister.
Come on.
Okay, I was not expecting that.
Nobody.
Okay, so first I would like to thank everybody for coming and see us get confirmed today. Also like to thank my fellow confirmands for working so hard and for making this an amazing experience. Thank you. Okay, Shavuot is about the Jewish people receiving the commandments from God, including the 10 that we read from the Torah today. I think we are given laws and rules for a reason. They keep us safe, try to keep us on track, and help us be treated fairly. Recently, I made a stupid decision that ended in me breaking a few rules. After breaking those rules, I felt almost sick to my stomach. Most of y'all know me, and I'm not that type of kid to break the rules, but I did. In Jewish tradition, we are taught that we have the power and responsibility to make decisions. Sometimes we make bad decisions. I have learned that making bad decisions feels horrible. Jewish tradition also teaches us that we learn from these choices and their consequences. We learn how to try to fix them, and we hopefully learn to never make bad choices like that again. I believe I have learned that lesson. I know that I will try not to make bad choices again, but I suspect I will. I'm glad that I know that I have many people like my mom, my rabbi, my teachers, and my friends who can guide me to make good decisions and help me when I make bad choices. Thank you to everyone who keeps me involved in the Jewish community. When you break a rule or law, you get a feeling of wrongdoing and sickness. Hopefully, we learn from mistakes and from breaking rules. We aren't human. We are human. We aren't perfect. After breaking a law or rule, we hope and wish for atonement. Judaism has taught me and has affected me throughout my life. It always will. I am so grateful that I can rely on the Jewish laws as a way to guide me through my life.
So, growing up Jewish in a city like Shreveport has helped me realize how lucky I am. Never would I have thought that I would be as close to my fellow confirmands as I am. Our small, tight-knit community has enabled us to grow closer as friends and to form special bonds that can never be broken. Thanks to Rabbi, I was able to widen my perspectives and knowledge on several controversial topics, such as gun violence in America, conflict in the Middle East, and many religious interpretations of homosexuality. In addition, confirmation helped me to realize how lucky I am to belong to such a unique faith. Judaism focuses on the acceptance of others and the freedom of thought and questioning. In Judaism, who you are is not dependent on your background, religion, or race. In Judaism, who you are is dependent on how you treat those around you, and who you are on the inside, not the outside. This is just one of the beautiful facets of Judaism. I'm proud to belong to a faith that doesn't ostracize agnostics, Muslims, or any other background, but rather looks at who they are as a person. One other thing that has really been on my mind lately is that unlike most religions, Judaism actually encourages us to question what the Torah tells us, and to think for ourselves. That is probably the coolest thing about being a Jew. The concept of independent thought is somewhat lost amongst today's population. People would rather be told what is right and what they should do, rather than decide for themselves. Through this facet of my faith, I have been able to become a more independent and free-thinking human being. Now that I am a confirmand, and I feel that my commitment to Judaism is to be the kindest person that I can be, and to fill the world with mitzvot. As of next year, I will be a fully fledged member of National Honor Society and Key Club. Through these organizations, I hope to apply the teachings of Judaism by making the world a better place through kindness and charity. And I'd like to thank my fellow confirmands, who I love very much, and Rabbi.
Thank you. I think we ran out of confirmands. Did you feel the love? You can feel the love. At this point, we have some presentations for our confirmation class. I have a surprise for the students. There was someone that they said was very important to them, and we weren't sure that this person was going to be able to participate. So I asked if Mr. Mitch would come and give you your presents. Mr. Mitch has agreed to come and give you presents. Mr. Mitch is someone who, I don't know if you noticed during Onyx Shabbat, but he makes it a point of always talking to the kids. Kids always feel included, and they went on and on about it. So, Mr. Mitch, would you please come up? Confirmands, would you please come over front and center? So you each get, we used to give out only books. Last year was our 100th year, and this year we give out a travel Hanukkah menorah that you get to take with you wherever you go. You get to give them hugs, too. Hugs are allowed. Hugs are allowed.
This group,
Uh-oh.
I can
Yeah,
say
go
that.
for it. Go for it.
This group of kids have been special for me. I've had a chance to watch them. I've known all the parents. Some like Garrett's dad, I've known since he was a little kid. When he ran around with my son, I won't tell you what he did. I've known Garrett and his family. 50 years ago, my brother married his first cousin, or cousin, I don't know which where, Barbara. So I've watched his dad and all, and his grandfather had been knowing him, and they accepted me into the Muslim family all along, and that was important. Even though I wasn't, they always included me as family. Of course, Grayson, I've known her ever since she got here. I was here the day when she was just a little kid, and they went to be converted, and the rabbi was saying, well, you're not, do you want to be converted? But you really don't have to be obligated. You're really a little young to be that way. But without question, Grayson wanted to be Jewish and committed on that day, along with Mackenzie. They both, I've been seeing them always at services, always down the hall, always making an effort to speak to me. And as you know, sometimes adults don't get spoken to. They'd rather be lost. And so that was always special. Of course, Taylor, I've known your family for a long time. My brother was your daddy's youth group advisor. My son was in youth group with him too. And all of y'all have been close and friends. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your closeness and your friendship. That will carry you throughout your life.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nice surprise, huh? Mr. President, Mr. John Black, his first Shabbat as president, and one of the first things he gets to do is this very cool thing of give the certificates from the congregation.
We're all very proud of you, and just a fabulous job. And seeing so many people, the young children that came up from the Hebrew class, it lets us know that we have many confirmation classes to look forward to. So again, very proud of what y'all have done. Grant? Garrett? Grayson? Mackenzie? Thank you.
Now, I think the confirmands may sit, and we've got envelopes for you to pick up afterwards for those things. But right now, Mr. President is going to tell us something about what's going on in our congregation.
Shabbat Shalom. Again, Mazel Tov to the confirmation students and to their families. Also, like to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. We will have Shavuot and Yizkor services Sunday, May 20th, 10 a.m. The Jewish Film Festival begins May 22nd, 6 p.m., Robinson Film Center. There will be a documentary about the Jews of Ethiopia. This month, films are free at the Robinson. You can reserve tickets in advance by calling the theater. We are scheduled to place flags at the graves of our veterans the day before Memorial Day. Please meet at the Jewish section of Greenwood Cemetery, 10 a.m. Sunday, May 27th. We will look at the weather reports and notify you if there's any change. There will be another Mitzvah Day food bank Sunday, June 3rd from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Please contact the office if you plan to help that day. Caleb Joseph will help lead services and be called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah during Shabbat services June 8th and 9th at Agudath Akim. In order to celebrate as a community, we will not have services or Torah study B'nai Zion that weekend. Throughout the weekend of June 15th through 17th, the rabbi and her husband from Omar, our sister community in Israel, will have special events at B'nai Zion and Agudath Akim. Ben and Luke Muslow will lead the service and be called to the Torah as B'nai Mitzvah at the Shabbat morning service that will begin 10:30 a.m. Saturday, June 30th. We will not have Torah study that morning. We apologize for the delay in sending out the May bulletin. It should be out soon. It is already posted online. At the annual congregational meeting last Sunday, we did vote to discontinue mailing of the bulletin. News and information will be in the one-calls and in emails and online. If you want that information mailed to you, you may request that. Please contact the office. Tonight's Oneg Shabbat is being hosted in honor of the confirmands by their parents. Donations were made to B'nai Zion for pulpit flowers in honor of the confirmation class of 5778 by the B'nai Zion Sisterhood, and in loving memory of Bernice Clark by Harriet Glazer, in loving memory of Fanny Goldman by Sharon and Elliot Goldman, and in loving memory of Marion Louise Hirsch by Jan Pittman.
Thank you. So I ask your indulgence for a few minutes now. We are going to, as you know, when the ark is open, I ask that you rise. I'm going to take a few minutes blessing the confirmands in front of the ark briefly. And you'll have to stand for that if it's comfortable for you to stand and sit. If not, it's really okay. And then we'll go immediately into the Aleinu and our concluding part of the service. We are on page 22. When the ark is open, please rise. Come here, I could bless you too. Pop you on your head. Ready? On page 22. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gur aleinu k'chol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech. And we had a lot of speech, so that's going to be a lot of deeds. And may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light of the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz bayom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo We begin the section of our service which is a memorial and a Yizkor. Some of you have a tradition to leave the room for a Yizkor service. It will be brief. Don't go too far. On page 23, birth is a beginning and death a destination. And life is a journey from childhood to maturity and youth to age, from innocence to awareness and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion and then perhaps to wisdom, from weakness to strength, or strength to weakness, and often back again. From health to sickness, and back we pray to health again. From offense to forgiveness, we didn't finish with them. From loneliness to love. From joy to gratitude. From pain to compassion. From grief to understanding. From fear to faith. From defeat to defeat to defeat. Until looking backward or ahead, we see that victory lies not at some place, high place along the way, but in having made the journey. Stage by stage, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning and death a destination, and life is a journey, a sacred pilgrimage to life everlasting. The paragraph we say at top of page 24 is one we say silently, remembering those who we loved who are no longer with us. Since we're calling this a Yizkor, I read off the names of those who we've lost as a congregation in the year of 5778. We remember Muriel Bundrick, Sarah David, Henry Elaine Dreyfus, Bart Lester, Gloria Meyer, Vivian Murov, Flo Selber, Adele Abramson Shaw, and Janet P. Stewart. And since this is also a Friday evening, we remember the Yortzites for those people whose anniversaries of their death occurred this past week. We remember Rose Offertig, Edith Benson, Shelley Boren, Jerry Brown, Bernice Clark, Robert Fry, Eve Greenberg, Fanny Goldman, Carolyn Hirsch, Marion Louise Hirsch, Erwin M. Joseph, Paul Lowenthal, Lucille Michel, Moses Leon Tatsi Murov, Jake Schuster, Aaron Simon, Ruth Simon, and Sidney Willer. We also remember that we have lost 12 people in our military already this year. We've lost 53 police officers this year. There were 4 deaths this week alone. We lost 2 in Louisiana over the year, and we've lost 6 canine officers. We've lost 36 firefighters already this year. We pray that their memories are always a blessing to us. We remember those people who run into danger so that we can be safe. El Malay Rachamim, I ask actually that you please rise. El Malay Rachamim shochen bamromim, hamsei menucha nechona tachat kanfei השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע, מזכירים את נשמתם שהלכו לעולמם. תהא מנוחתם בגן עדן. לכן, בעל הרחמים, יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרו בצורה חיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר, Amen. O God, full of compassion, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest under the wings of your presence to our loved ones who have entered eternity. Master of mercy, let them find refuge forever in the shadow of your wings, and let their souls be bound up in the bond of everlasting eternal life. The eternal God is their inheritance. May they rest in peace. And let us say, Amen. The Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 25. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'alma divra chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'yamru Amen. Yehe shemei rabba mevarach la'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha barichu. La'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. You may be seated, except the confirmation class is coming up to here.
We are on the road, God, with one of many choices made. Our decision confirmed. Our travels begun. We seek knowledge.
Perhaps only the knowledge to choose again, for our life is just beginning as the long road unwinds.
One route is chosen, for we have taken the path blazed by Jewish heritage and beliefs. That is why the synagogue is so central for our journey.
We realize, God, that many streets and many roads will cross our paths and confuse our direction.
Many oblique questions will cloud our senses and trouble us in our search for knowledge. We look to your face for a clue as to which questions are just and bear answering.
We know that our answers must be realized within ourselves, and we alone can determine which direction our lives will take.
As our journey continues, we search for the hope, we search for the faith, and we search for the guidance that are so badly needed to help us to make good choices.
With your help, O God, we will strive to achieve what is ours to accomplish. We thank you, God, for the path and direction to find our way in the world.
We now invite all of the confirmands from next year to come up and help us say the motzi. You thought you were done with motzi, right? So we have a few confirmands who are not going to be able to join us tonight, but we greatly appreciate those who are going to join us. Would you pick up the challah, please?
Yeah, of course I would.
Front and center? I don't think you need the words, do you?
You know, you guys are very lucky. You guys have a whole year coming up. Good luck for your sophomore year and bread.
And bread.
Magically.
Thank you. All right, come on out. What's crash? Whoa. All right, ready? How you gonna do it? Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. All right, I get the plate and you get the bread. You remember how this goes. You were little once. There's plenty of challah out there for everybody else too. Ha! Bring it back to your families. So as we stand at Sinai, as we accept our laws anew, I pray that you're always ready to know the difference between where you're supposed to be standing and where you're not supposed to be standing. Sometimes the cues are written for us and we go right past them, but it doesn't matter because we get to the right ending anyway. So I hope you're good at watching for those cues. Meanwhile, you're going to help me point, but now you got challah in your hand. Please rise for the closing benediction. You're going to point for me with the challah. That's fine. Ready? They're supposed to help me with this. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face be lifted up to you. May God grant you all peace, a wonderful Shabbat, a great Shavuot. Now, the song that this group picked as their closing song means something to them since they were smaller than the benches, the pews. And so at first I said, really? And then I realized, you know what? Really, this group really needs this. So please allow the confirmands to leave and go over to the Lefkowitz Hall, in front of the Lefkowitz Hall, and then please join them there for Oneg Shabbat. Shalom chaverim, shalom chaverim, shalom, shalom, lehitraot, lehitraot, shalom, shalom, shalom chaverim, shalom chaverim, shalom, shalom, lehitraot, lehitraot, shalom, shalom. Bye, friends. See you soon. We'll see you in front of Lefkowitz Hall. Please go mazel tov our kids. Thank you.